calligraphy found their way to the hands of 8 exceptional women. Each invitation bore the same cryptic message. Join us at the Cypher Manor to unravel a murder most mysterious. Signed, JP. As the clock struck 8, the women arrived, and the grand hall of the manor echoed with whispers of introductions. Little did they know that they were about to embark on a thrilling journey through the enigmatic world of cybersecurity with some murder mystery intrigue. The team must work together to decipher cryptic clues, navigate the manor's hidden passageways, and identify the murderer, the motive, and the weapon in this classic game of clues. But who are these extraordinary women, and why are they so enigmatic? Dr. Dorothy E. Denning, a trailblazer in information security and cryptography, stepped into the dimly lit room, her eyes scanning the intricate web of evidence. As an emeritus distinguished professor of defense analysis and a National Cybersecurity Hall of Fame in the US inductee, she was well prepared for the task ahead. Throughout her storied career, she's authored over 200 articles, 4 books, and even did a TED Talk at the impressive age of 70. She tackled lattice-based access controls and pioneered intrusion detection systems. Now, Denning's accomplishments have not gone unnoticed. Time magazine has named her Security Innovator in 2001. And if you don't think that's from history, remember, folks, that's over 20 years ago. And her work on encryption technology improved data security worldwide. With her keen intellect and unrivaled expertise, she began to decipher the cryptic messages left behind by the enigmatic killer, leaving no stone unturned in her pursuit of justice. As the Enigmatic Eight delved deeper into the perplexing mystery, they couldn't help but appreciate the extraordinary contributions of Radia Perlman. Like a master detective solving the most intricate of crimes, Radia had created the foundation for the internet with her invention of the spanning tree protocol, ushering in a new era of seamless communication. Her numerous patents, prestigious awards, and influential work in network design and standardization illuminated her path, much like the guiding light amidst the shadows of the treacherous investigation. The group realized that Radia's unparalleled skill in untangling complex networks would prove invaluable in their quest to unravel the enigmatic murder that loomed over Cypher Manor. The air of the room shifted as Joan Clark, a brilliant cryptanalyst and codebreaker, joined the gathering. Her work, alongside with Alan Turing in cracking the Enigma code during World War II, had cemented her place in history, and her keen intuition to be invaluable in deciphering the clues before them. In the shadowy realm of codebreaking, the name Joan Elizabeth Lothar Murray née Clark resonated with a brilliance that pierced the darkness. The enigmatic figure was best known for her clandestine work at Bletchley Park during the Second World War, where she played a pivotal role in the top-secret Enigma project, decrypting Nazi Germany's concealed communications. How many in the room remember Joan Clark? Have you? All right. Despite these obstacles she faced as a woman in a male-dominated field, Joan's unparalleled intellect and sheer determination led her to become the only female practitioner of the banburismus, good word, a code-breaking technique invented by Alan Turing that proved crucial in the battle against encrypted messages. Her exceptional contributions to the war effort were acknowledged with her appointment as a member of the Order of the British Empire in 1946. But the intrigue didn't end there. Joan's enigmatic life continued as she delved into the world of numismatics, unveiling the secrets of ancient Scottish coinage and earning the prestigious Sanford Saltus Gold Medal. Joan's story, shrouded in mystery and brimming with accomplishments, remains an inspiration to all who dare to break codes of a world that tries to hold them back. As the Enigmatic Eight delved deeper into the cryptic maze at Cypher Manor, they drew inspiration from the pioneering work of Marie Van Burton Brown, a trailblazer in the world of personal security. Marie's innovative spirit and expertise in crafting the first ever home security system laid the groundwork for modern security solutions and her groundbreaking invention, combining video monitoring, remote-controlled door locks, push-button alarms, and two-way communications, served as a powerful precursor to the digital fortress and now protects sensitive information in both personal and public areas. Marie's extraordinary accomplishments in personal security resonated through the field of physical and cybersecurity. Her ingenious approach to safeguarding homes serving as a blueprint for securing both homes and businesses. As the Enigmatic Eight ventured further into the shadowy corners of Cypher Manor, Marie's expertise served as a guiding light, illuminating their path as they sought to unravel the complex threads of deception and reveal the truth behind the enigmatic murder. As the Enigmatic Eight navigated the labyrinthine corridors of Cryptic Manor, they drew inspiration from the astounding accomplishments of Elizabeth Smith Friedman, the master code breaker and cipher huntress. Throughout her illustrious career, she had deciphered over 12,000 coded messages by hand in just 3 years, leading to over 650 criminal prosecutions across various US government agencies. Her expertise even contributed to the indictment of the notorious gangster Al Capone. In 1930, Friedman recognized the need for a specialized team to handle the ever-increasing workload of decrypting messages. Her vision materialized in 1931, and she became the first woman to lead an American code-breaking unit. With her exceptional leadership, she recruited, trained, and cultivated the best radio intelligence team in the country by the end of 1932. This team's prowess enabled them to address new atypical systems with agility, expediting the entire decryption process and keeping them one step ahead of the criminals they pursued. As Friedman once remarked, "Our offices don't make them, we'd only break them." True to her word, she shattered countless codes and brought numerous violators of the Volstead Act to justice during Prohibition. The Enigmatic Eight, fueled by Friedman's extraordinary achievements, pressed forward in their quest to uncover the truth. Her mastery of code breaking served as a guiding beacon in the dark recesses of Cypher Manor, illuminating their path as they pursued the enigmatic murderer and sought to unravel the tangled web of secrets that lay before them. The Enigmatic Eight delved deeper into this perplexing case, welcoming Agnes Meyer Driscoll. Known as the First Lady of Naval Cryptology and a student of Elizabeth Smith Friedman, Driscoll had honed her skills in mathematics, physics, and foreign languages, becoming fluent in English, French, German, Latin, and Japanese. After enlisting in the US Navy during World War I, she quickly made her mark by co-developing the communications machine, a standard enciphering device for the Navy throughout the 1920s. Agnes was instrumental in breaking the Japanese Navy manual codes, aptly named the Red Book and the Blue Book. Despite her successes, the Enigmatic Eight could not shake a lingering sense of unease. They knew that Agnes's expertise in deciphering codes would be invaluable in solving the murder mystery that had brought them together, but they also recognized that her skills might prove to be a double-edged sword. As the investigation continued, the team confronted numerous cryptic clues that seemed to defy explanation. The Enigmatic Eight wondered if the murderer was using Agnes's techniques to conceal her identity, or if she herself had fallen prey to a dangerous game. As the Enigmatic Eight continued their quest to unravel a mysterious murder at Cypher Manor, they were joined by Noor Inayat Khan. Born in Moscow to a father of Indian royalty and an American mother, they moved to England just before World War I, but spent much of their early life in France, and then back to England again just before World War II. Khan's background was a tapestry of mystery and intrigue. After studying music and child psychology in Paris, she established herself as a writer, translating and publishing the Jataka Tales. The princess, Muslim, writer, and musician defied expectations and joined the British war effort during World War II. Khan became the first female radio operator sent by Britain into occupied France, joining the Special Operations Executive. Khan's exceptional radio skills, honed under extraordinary circumstances, allowed her to take on the work of 6 radio operators after the rest of her network was arrested. Her crucial role in the war effort helped airmen escape and facilitated important deliveries. Sometimes her carelessness raised concerns among her colleagues, like when she revealed her British heritage by pouring milk into cups before the tea. Despite the initial doubts, Khan's contribution to the war effort ultimately proved invaluable. For her bravery and service, she was awarded the George Cross by Britain and the Croix de la Guerre by France. Apologies for my accent. The Enigmatic Eight knew that her unique background, keen intellect, and incredible resilience would serve them well in their pursuit of the truth. As they ventured further into the shadowy halls of Cypher Manor, the Enigmatic Eight pressed on, inspired by Khan's indomitable spirit and determined to bring this mysterious murderer to justice. The Enigmatic Eight, captivated by the tales of influential women, encountered Mary Scherer, MI5's first female agent runner, and the final member into their midst. Scherer's cunning and intellect outwitted the formidable Abwehr during World War II through the double-cross operation. Facing a monumental dilemma regarding the trustworthiness of her double agent Treasure, Scherer's determination led to the successful deception during the D-Day landings. Despite her accomplishments, she was never given officer rank like her counterparts due to her gender. And perhaps the most fascinating part of her story is that after leaving MI5, she opened the Lion Bookshop in Via del Babuino in Rome with Phyllis Mackenzie, another intelligence operative, where they lived happily ever after for the rest of their lives, surrounded by dogs and books. In fact, for fun, Mary loved to run, so she used this talent to pursue and capture petty thieves all around Rome. The Enigmatic Eight, inspired by Scherer's tenacity, moved closer to solving the murder mystery at Cypher Manor. Guided by her spirit in revealing hidden truths within the shadows, driven by the desire to uncover the truth, the women banded together, drawing on their collective intelligence and determination, knowing that every deciphered code brought them one step closer to solving the murder mystery at Cypher Manor. The Enigmatic Eight each believe they are here to play an intriguing game created by their mastermind librarian and friend, Professor Jeremiah Plum. You see, each member of the group has a unique connection to Jeremiah, who is secretly involved in the cybersecurity world, having crossed paths with each of them in the past. They are finally ready to unveil who they believe is the digital phantom, but dear Professor Jeremiah Plum is nowhere to be found. The architect of this epic adventure never came to meet them, but they thought nothing of it, considering his eccentric, mysterious ways. After a tireless search back through the many rooms of Cypher Manor, they stumbled across Professor Plum, sleeping in his office. Silly Jeremiah napping during his own party. But no one can seem to wake Professor Plum because he's been murdered. What was thought to be a peaceful nap with a book in his lap hides the blood running down the back of the chair. It's apparent that foul play is involved. The Enigmatic Eight must now work together again to solve an actual murder mystery of their dear friend and confidant, Professor Jeremiah Plum. The Enigmatic Eight split up and search the manor again for more clues. They find cryptic messages hidden in each room, written in code, and they deduce that these messages hold the key to solving the murder, and together they work to decipher the codes. Along the way, they discover more hidden passages between rooms, which only deepens the mystery. Meanwhile, Miss Antoinette Scarlett, a seemingly innocent cybersecurity expert, had joined the group, claiming to have received an invitation just like all the others. However, she is secretly the one who sent the invitations in the first place, having orchestrated this entire event to cover up her own dark past. As the Enigmatic Eight decipher the messages, they begin to reveal Antoinette's true identity and her connection to Jeremiah. She had worked with him on a top-secret government project before he discovered her illegal activities and threatened to expose her. Unable to risk this exposure, Antoinette killed Jeremiah to silence him. The Enigmatic Eight confronted Antoinette, who initially denies any wrongdoing. Look at how innocent she is. However, as they present the evidence against her and explain how they used their collective skills to decode the messages, she realized the game is up. In a final showdown in the ballroom, the Enigmatic Eight reveal Antoinette's murdered Jeremiah in the study with a candlestick. As the authorities arrive to apprehend Antoinette, the Enigmatic Eight are hailed as heroes. Their work, however, is far from over. As the sun begins to rise, the Enigmatic Eight dispersed, each returning to their respective realms of expertise. Their names would forever be etched in history, and their legend would inspire generations to come. And thus the story of the Enigmatic Eight lived on, a cryptic tale of extraordinary women who challenged convention, changed the face of cybersecurity, and conquered the enigmatic world of crime and deception. They had proven that no riddle was too complex and no villain too cunning for their collective prowess. The end. If you couldn't tell, I'm not done, but if you couldn't tell, we modeled Antoinette Scarlett on myself and modeled Professor Jeremiah Plum on my colleague Jeremy Stott, who I worked on this with. While our purpose of this project was to highlight influential and mostly unknown women in history, how many people here knew any of those names? Nice. How many knew half of those names? Nobody. It was a really fun project to work on, obviously, but we really, by adding it as a murder mystery style, just added a bit of, a bit more interest. We wanted these chapters to be interesting and highlight some incredible achievements these women did, but also easy to read and encourage further reading into the history of these women. The pictures created through descriptive prompts in Midjourney 5 added depth and creativity to the project. Like a graphic novel, some were and some historically accurate facts to learn from. We had many discussions, Jeremy and I had many discussions on the ethics of using these tools to deliver these stories and images, but ensured that we credited our resources and corrected inaccuracies as thoroughly as we could. We also used our personal computers and accounts since we are security professionals and tend to err on the side of caution when using third-party experimental tools. Please don't use it at work. Cypher Manor was created on Midjourney 5 with the prompt Mystic Manor Lounge with a fireplace as a set for a murder mystery set in the 1920s, a bookcase, a rug, a painting, and other props on the set. We picked the one that we liked the most and decided to go with that. We chose the image that had the best lighting and shade that we wanted, an aesthetic, and using this image for every subsequent prompt ensured we captured a similar style and had consistent characters through the post. For each prompt, we included 2 images, the Mystic Manor style and the portrait of the woman that we wanted to display in that style. This is a photo of Joan Clark and the Cypher Manor room. So we put the 2 pictures in Midjourney and put the prompt, an influential woman in cybersecurity, as a murder mystery character. Some of the characters were trickier to achieve the look we wanted. We had to be more specific about lighting and setting. In some, we specified a fireplace or an action, such as holding a book or standing in a doorway. We had to say things like a woman murder mystery character in Mystic Manor by the fireplace with cinematic lighting. But of course, we had some interesting results through the process. Midjourney 5 kept trying to add beards to the women and giving them masculine features. They were a few people that had slightly terrifying features. If you can spot the eye that's growing something. And of course, we had the totally creepy extra hand that they talk about, which was amazing. But more than anything, we both really hope you enjoyed this project as much as we did. We spent a lot of our own free time, mostly on prompt iteration and editing to ensure that the story we delivered made sense. It was educational and provided entertainment. The images within the slides, just so you know, we presented this kind of as a weekly blog post for each of these characters. And the images had contained alt text to describe the image, as well as more links to reading, so that if you were interested in this person, it showed books that they had written. Many of these women have actually written books on the subjects that we are now experts in. or want to be experts in. So please have a look at these names, read more into them. There are some fantastic women in history that have not been recognized. I do also recognize my own bias, being originally from America, being English-speaking. Most of the people I could find were either from America or UK. Most of them were white. It was really difficult and we actually had to dig really hard to find other women, such as Marie Van Britten Brown. And Marie Van Britten Brown actually created the first patent for the home security system ever, and that patent is still being referenced today, which is absolutely phenomenal. So again, thank you for listening to our little story. If you want to do something like this to encourage more interest in your own companies for women in security, I highly recommend it. It was very well received among our company. People were interested and they were intrigued and they kept coming back for more, and then turned it into a conference talk and come speak about it. So thank you, everyone. That's all I have for now. We do have a few minutes for questions if anyone has any, but...
So there's five minutes more for this talk and then a 5-minute break. So are there any questions on the audience?
Who wants to know more about these women? Yes. Awesome. Is that a question? Oh,
your
sorry.
blog?
Yeah, I did mention a blog. That was an internal company Slack blog, so you're not getting to that, sorry. But yeah, so because I did this for the Women in Security group within our organization, we did it as a blog post. Our company has 78,000 people, and we have over 500 people in our Women in Security group, so it was quite a big audience. But I've made this into a talk because I wanted to share it to more people. So these will be shared along with the notes themselves, have all the references and further reading for each of these individuals. But like I said before, when I recognize my own bias in this, I would love for anyone from India, from China, from other countries to look into the history. I recently read a book about the Australian code-breaking unit, which was amazing. So luckily, a lot of this stuff has finally been declassified after so long, so we can actually read more about these women, but they've all signed, the ones that actually were involved in war efforts, all signed documents to never speak about this again. And many people have passed and never been recognized for the amazing work that they did in creating all this for us. Dr. Dorothy E. Denning and Radha Ann Perlman are still alive, and they literally, one literally wrote the book on the internet, is called The Mother of the Internet, although she hates that name, and the other one has written the book on cryptology, like the book that you refer to. So yeah, definitely look more into it. I'll share these slides both with the organization. And yeah, do we have any more questions, or is that?
You mentioned using ChatGPT as well as Midjourney.
Yeah.
What was the ChatGPT stuff like? How did that go?
Yeah, so the ChatGPT, that was super fun. Obviously, dude, I couldn't come up with all that. But what we ended up doing is we really wanted it to be campy. We wanted it to be like the game Clue. So we kept, we've kept putting those prompts in to say something along the lines, to do this in the form of murder mystery, but we actually had to feed it all of the resources and all the information, and they would still get things wrong. So then you'd have to go through and you'd have to pick out certain parts that are accurate. But it was, and you can tell by that talk how many times, did anyone count how many times I said Enigmatic Eight? So it was we did cut out a lot of that, but it was very repetitious. But it also made us, stay more involved, because it was like, this is super fun, when I said to Germany, hey, I want to do this, blog post about women in history, but I just don't want to just deliver it like a lecture. And he's like, yeah, let's do it in the style of a murder mystery. I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of fun, and it would sometimes pick out information on people that what clearly was wrong, and you'd have to go and scrub all that out and correct it. But it was a lot of fun to use, and I definitely recommend playing around with it. But that was ChatGPT 4, and it was like the little paid version or whatever. And that was all driven by Jeremy, because he just loves stuff like that. Cool. I think that's it. If you want to talk to me about anything else, Christchurch HackerCon, women in security, whatever, I will be around for the morning. Please come up and say hi. Don't be shy. I'm happy to meet everybody. So thank you.